only now realized that it's not a joke. I genuinely thought they were like green screened or something. Like someone was watching the Super Bowl and they'd like green screened it, but it's legit. So yeah, these watch parties look like class.
I don't know if you've seen, but Love Island USA watch parties have taken over across the country.
I genuinely thought people were photoshopping them and sending them to me. Like, I'm not making this up. I genuinely thought it was a joke. What's sort of like really cool about America is obviously I know how big it's been and stuff from like online, but I'm not in America and I'm online a little bit, but like I'm also like a dad with like 2 jobs and stuff. So I'm not really massively an online person. I've only now realized that it's not a joke. I genuinely thought they were like green screened or something. Like someone was watching the Super Bowl and they'd like green screened it, but it's legit. So yeah, these watch parties look like class.
Because I was writing about this, my editors were like, "Can we send you to a watch party and have you cover it?" And I was like,
No, you have. Did you go? Did you go?
I did.
Was it amazing?
It was crazy. I went to one in West Hollywood, which is a very like popular area to be. I got there 2 hours early to, as a good journalist, to make sure I got a spot, had a computer space and all that. 10 minutes later, all the seats are taken.
Oh my
30 minutes later, it is like sardine standing room only. It was just crazy to watch. You're seeing the communication that's happening online about some of these people, but to full on witness that this person right here is so loved, like Amaya Papaya. She is America's like sweetheart, and truly witnessing. It was during Casa Amor and she wasn't coupled up yet. So JD brought her breakfast. The entire crowd lost it and was cheering for him. They were so excited. Cute. And then, if anything, I think it was the best episode I could have seen live because it was one with the plot twist at the end. The screen was fading to black. Everyone was like, wait, what's happening? The lights come back on. You can see that car and people are just cheering and people start shit me. It was great.
That's so cool. That's honestly so cool. Like we had that a bit. I can't remember the year, but when UK really took off, and obviously it's still massive here, but it was when the World Cup was on and England had a really deep run in the World Cup. So there was loads of images of like all the sports bars screens all being like England in the World Cup, like semi-finals. But then there was like another like section of the bar that was like Love Island. And obviously for a sports bar to not show the national team in the semi-finals of a World Cup and show something else is like nuts. It is really funny watching the American rise, and it's so comparable, positives and negatives, to the UK and what happened in the UK. It's like really, really interesting.
Definitely. I'm watching season 5 right now, which was with Molly May and Maura on it.
Basically, the Molly May one this year is the American one last year, and it's really interesting because season 4 had loads of big characters that everyone loved that made people fall in love with Love Island, and then 5's the one that like took off. So it's the same thing as America. Last year had like a handful of like really massive characters that everybody loved that lit the bonfire, and then this year sort of the fuel's getting thrown on and everyone's going mad for it. So it's really cool.